got Vincent Casso, who you know as Blue. And of course, Felicia Day. And from the Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog family, we have a bunch of Whedons. We got Jed, we got Joss and Zach Whedon. We have Elizabeth McCarran, and welcome. There are 4 microphones you all have to share. Please.
Never. I want to be elsewhere.
Well, unbelievable work, everyone. It's so thick, every line, every song, that it's almost impossible to figure out where to start because there's so much that's in these what we just saw. But I guess we'll just start basically where this began. Felicia, where the Guild, what it started out of, and where it came from.
Okay. I play games all my life. I'm an online gaming addict, still probably now. All these guys are playing Trials HD against me. Not beating my score quite yet, but still, I do play a lot of games. I quit that because I had an intervention. It's a really long story about a ladies' club, and it's just too much. So basically, I quit, and then I was like, I need to do something with my time because I'm bored. And I wrote a pilot called The Guild, and then my producer Kim Evie said that we should do it as a web series. So that's how everything started. And a couple $100 in bagels and shooting my house. So that's how it all started.
It's almost a Sturgis-esque, like, fast-paced dialogue. Is that all written on the paper? How much comes out of it? It is unbelievable. Oh.
Sturgeon's what?
Sturgeon, like press the like, but the speed of this unbelievable screwball comedy dialogue, is it all on paper? Because jokes are so connected, I can't imagine them coming out of improv at all.
No, it's all scripted. Actually, we were just talking about this the other day. We were finishing season 3, and I was like, people were like, oh, these are 11-page episodes like that. They'll cut down, and they all cut down to like 7.5 minutes. So it's much faster because I get bored very easily. And my theory is that the faster we go, if something doesn't hit, then people won't notice.
And where did Dr. Horrible, where did that stem from as well?
Well, from a lot of places, but partially from the Guild, because I was a fan and asked Felicia's advice when I was thinking about making a web thing. Partially from the writer's strike and the inability of the larger corporations to move quickly enough to do something that's fun, and partially from the fact that we're wicked nerds.
I can see during the strike writing something and having something written, but the fact of writing something and then having all this music and doing all this, it's completely an insane undertaking. It's how long did it take to do all that, to what we just saw?
It was about 5 months from starting to work on it to streaming it. 6 days to shoot it. Recording it was a couple of weeks, and then most of it fell on Jed because of doing the score, the orchestrations, and half the songwriting.
And we also could, because of it's a musical, we could film it and then I could work on music while we were cutting it and everything. So when we shot, we were using sort of a bare bones version of everything, and then I fleshed it out afterwards. Tried to make it cool.
I was curious, has Sondheim seen this or mentioned anything? Because it is so...
Yes, he's seen it. He said it was very nice. I had no follow-up questions.
And one more question about this. I saw that James Gunn's The Toy Collector was a shot of that. And then I know you're good friends with Ben Edwards, who did The Tick. And then James Gunn did The Special. So I was wondering, when you were going into this, was there a thought that, like, we're entering this superhero, supervillain territory, do we have to steer clear of any of those kind of thoughts at the same time, or no?
No, I didn't even think about The Specials, which is really one of my favorite movies and a huge influence, but I wasn't thinking about it. I just love The Toy Collector and thought you should be reading it. And it's being reprinted. It's coming out again from Amazon, and I wrote the introduction, so you should get it. It's cool. And Ben was going to write Horrible with us, but had to bow out because of other considerations. So they're the people I would go to. But I honestly, the James Gunn thing was just a coincidence. I didn't realize I was totally ripping him off. Is this on?
Well, then he did Scooby-Doo, so he had to watch his step there, too. So there we go. I don't know what I'm talking about. So acting in The Guild, what is it like to receive those scripts and create those characters? Because the characters, on one way, if you're watching them for 4 minutes, you get an archetype view of them, but they're all very, very deep and non-cliche characters, even though they could enter that realm. What's it like creating those characters for The Guild? And,
Tell me.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Okay. Felicia wrote such specific characters that it wasn't all that difficult. She wrote the part for me. So, she literally came up to me with the script. We did improv together for a couple of years before the Guild ever existed. And she showed me the script, and she's like, I think you'd be perfect for this stalker role. And a little wish fulfillment, I think. But she knows me as someone that can play kind of energetic, impish characters. I think it's fair to say. So I just kind of was being, myself in terms of being able to play that character. And then the only trouble was probably learning all the gaming language, which I wasn't very familiar with personally. Until midway through the first season, but I got used to it.
Now we get lots of free games. It's the one benefit of being a web video doing a gamer.
How we get paid?
So hook you up. I'll beat you in trials again today. Later.
Bring it.
Yeah, hey guys. It's definitely an interesting experience. I had to audition for the part. It's okay. It's alright, there were 2 other guys in there, and I'm sure they did a great job, but, you picked the best, so. No, but really. Honestly, Felicia has given us a lot as far as the script is concerned on how these characters will be portrayed, so she's done a great job as far as that goes. But over the seasons, you see them develop, and that's a combination of factors. I mean, whenever a script is made, we do a whole roundtable thing, we rip off each other, and Jeff and Sandeep do a lot of improv. And we just create on them, so it's been a fun process. Although it is interesting to note, you mentioned the gaming terms. None of us but Felicia knew what any of this stuff meant going into it. So I was...
Jeff Lewis actually watched season 1 after we went to Blizzard and they gave us a tour and free games, and we started playing it, and he became Vork. He is Vork now. He's level 80, he's getting married in game. It's a true story. Anyway, so he rewatches it after he starts playing for 6 months, and he's like, oh yeah, I understand what I was saying then. We had no idea. We had no clue.
For the record, I pronounced everything correctly. Thank you.
What is it like for you four to work together? Do you fight, or does it go easily? Does it connect? How is it?
We fight a lot. It's very easy. We did it a lot as children. It was the first time we worked together since I think I was like 8 years old. But it went just as smoothly as it did then.
Joss used to direct us when we were children in movies. He would write movies and then we would act them out. The first one was when I was 8, and the last one was when you were 8, correct? The first one was called Stupid Man. I was Stupid Man.
Yeah, and Joss was Dr. Fear and Loathing. And I was his assistant.
I'm going to ask one more question, then I'm going to open it up to the audience. But as it is a webisode, and this is the American Cinema Blows Up the Internet, do you view this as the future of television in a way, as the prime time starts shrinking and you have more creative control here? Would you like to do more like this and go in that way?